What will you do if I tell you that the secret to exceptional leadership was already within you? It is just waiting to be unlocked. And I happen to have enough experience to teach you how to do it. If that resonates with you, keep watching this video because I will give you tips in regards of a book and a journey that will help you to unlock your true potential. Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Wine After 5. I'm your host, Mayrian, and for those of you that are new to the channel, let me give you a quick introduction. I've been in the workforce for over 15 years, and out of those 15 years, 10 has been in leadership positions. Trust me and believe when I tell you that I've done everything. I've been a team lead, I've been a supervisor, I've been a manager, I've been a coordinator, and I've been an executive level of business. Up to the point in which I'm currently the CEO of my own company, which dedicates to consult other business to evaluate their operational strategies, root cause analysis, and develop templates for the multiple documents that they need in order to thrive on the day-to-day activities. As I said in the beginning of the video, that's one of the many reasons that qualified me to be able to understand business and to be able to understand why it is important to tune in to your values, to tune into your skills, and to be able to visualize your own leadership style. As I said at the beginning, I have a book and a journey to recommend with you. And that book happens to be Lead Like You Mean It, which is my book. It's just launching today in Amazon. I just have the version for the book to be reviewed. So you see that it has this band that says not to resell. However, I already reviewed it and it goes live today. So that's a big announcement for this particular video. I cannot let pass this important news. This book is so dear to me, and I hope it does amazing things for you and your life as a leadership. So why did I write Lead Like You Mean It? The reason why I write this book, it's because I've noticed so many people full of potential on an entry level of a business getting wasted there. And not necessarily because the company is not the right fit for them, not necessarily because the company culture is not the right fit for them, but because they do not understand their values and they do not have a clear picture of the type of leaders they want to be. So in order for you to become a leader, you first need to define what type of leader you want to be. So the first step in a company when you start on an entry level, if you do not were hired as a team lead or as a supervisor, it's to define where you want to take your career to the next level. Is it marketing? Is it management? Do you want to deal with people? Do you don't want to deal with people? Is it HR? Is it analytics? Is it IT? After you define that area of expertise to which you want to dedicate the next couple of years of your life, so after that, you need to do a benchmark analysis and identify what are the skills that that particular leader that you want to emulate you have within you and which of them you need to hone or you need to nurture. And how do you nurture skills? You nurture skills by training. You nurture skill by looking and learning. You hone skills by mentorship. You hone skills by fully committing to yourself, identifying what are your core values and what are the things that you need to improve, and start developing habits that help you develop those core values and those core skills that you have, and ditch those habits that do not serve the purpose that you're trying to follow or that you're trying to fulfill. And going back to the question of why I decided to write Lead Like You Mean It, it's because I've had my fair share of failures on my leadership journey. Not everything has been the color of roses. Not everything has been a piece of cake. There are challenges. There are things that you need to learn, and there are things that you need to unlearn. And through these challenges, I've learned that you need to have a map that you're willing to follow, which you will find in the book. You will be able to develop your own map. You'll need to have a compass, which is what will show you when you're going north, when you're going east, when you're going west, and when you're going south. Yes, but sometimes we need to go back in order to move forward, as I said in the different videos. If you want to know more about my leadership journey, the things that I did wrong at the beginning and the lessons that I've learned about my journey, I'll be linking the video 10 things about my leadership journey here. So you can go ahead and watch it as soon as you finish this video. It will also be in the description below. The second thing is in regards of the title. Why did I call it Lead Like You Mean It? The reason for that is pretty simple. And it's because I've seen so many people wasting their lives on businesses on an entry level role just because they feel like they're gonna be the next in line to be the team lead or the supervisor just because they have been working with the company for the past 5, 6 years. So they think to believe they are the obvious candidate for the role, and it's not necessarily like that. And in other times, people apply for the roles of leaders just because of the salary increase, just because of the title, just because to be able to brand themselves as the supervisor of such and such, or the manager of X, Y, and Z, or the executive of a big branded company, right? Call it what you need, call it how you want it. But there's something more important. That's something that goes beyond the title, and it's meaning. It's the meaning. It's the willing to be able to lead others, to coach others, to improve the life of those that you are leading. To me, a leader is someone that needs to influence the life of every single person that they lead. A leader is someone that needs to lead by example. So if you ask someone to stay extra hours to finish a project, you as a leader cannot be the first one leaving the office. You need to be there with your team. You need to show them support. And I'll share a story with you, which is part of my journey. I once worked for a contact center, and we were going to have a hurricane coming to the country. So because of the storm, and because we were outside of the States, and because we were providing support to the contact center or the main company here in the United States, we were supposed to be available to take calls and to make calls. How is this important or relevant, you might ask? Well, the hurricane was only impacting that country in which I was working at and not the States. So here in the States, people will not understand why the calls weren't getting connected because the contact center was in a different country. Moving forward, the point is that the company asked us to stay within the building and stay there and sleep there for at least 2 days. They give us the option to stay and we will get paid 3 times what a regular hour was. But again, we need to sacrifice going to our houses. By that time, I already had my oldest child. So I needed to sacrifice my time with him. And at the beginning, none of my team members wanted to stay. However, I decided to step forward and I volunteered myself to stay. Yes, my child was with my parents. He was in a safe environment. And once I make sure that he was in a safe environment, then nothing was going to happen. I decided to be there for my team. And as soon as I stepped in and I said that I was going to stay, that I was going to sleep in the building in order to be able to provide the services that the company needed, more and more of my team members decided to stay as well. So what am I teaching you with this? Is that leading is not just having the fancy title. Leading is meaning. It's staying with your team, is showing and paving the way for your team so they can try. It's doing the action, so it's not just your words. Imagine what will happen if I only ask my team, stay, and I motivate them and I tell them, yeah, you're going to get the 3 times paid, whatever your regular hour is, and you will have dinner and you will have electricity here, you will have water, and we'll make sure that you have an air mattress and everything's going to be comfortable. And once I have my team willing to stay, then I just said, but I'm not staying. That wouldn't work. Do you think it will work? Let me know in the comments. Because from my perspective, it won't. And from my experience, it will not. At that moment, my compass, which again, you can learn more about the compass and know what it is in my book, show me that the right way, that the right direction to follow, that what aligned more with my values and the type of leader that I wanted to be was staying with my team. And that's what I did. So that's why the title is Lead Like You Mean It, because sometimes people lead because of the salary increase that they will get. Sometimes people lead because of the benefits they will get because of that, like being in the fancy dinners with the owners of the business, being in the amazing events that companies run, whether in your country or outside of your country, traveling often, having the title, again, being able to brand yourself as the manager of or the supervisor at. But that doesn't mean that you mean to be a leader. That doesn't mean that you're willing to be a leader. So if you are the type of leader, or if you are the type of person that is willing to become a leader who guides others, who influence others, and who leaves a positive mark into the people that you're supervising or leading, this book is perfect for you. Trust me, it will save you a lot of headaches that I went through my journey. A lot of issues or mistakes that we made because of, I will not call it incompetence, but because of the lack of experience and because we have bosses pressuring us, asking us for results. And we carve into those pressures sometimes just because we want to show off instead of learning and doing it our ways. I see Lead Like You Mean It as a leadership guide for real impact. Again, it's not just a book that you're going to go there, you're going to go through the pages and you're going to read it and you're going to feel empowered. And then 3 days after reading it, it's like nothing happened. You already moved to something else. No, Lead Like You Mean It is a guide to generate and create real impact in your life. It is only 72 pages, so it's fairly short, and it has a lot of knowledge. Like, it's a concentration of the knowledge that I've had, and then you have different exercises through the book. I'll go ahead and show you one. Let me see. I'll show you the first one, which is the snapshot of your future self. And in this particular one, after you read the first chapter, you will be prompted with all of those introspections, with all of those insights about who do you want to emulate, what do you want to emulate at people, who do you do not want to be, and why you do not want to be like that person. You will be able to write down, how do you see yourself as a leader? If you were to have the position, the title, and the salary that you're dreaming of, how do you see yourself leading, coaching, training, facing issues, and empowering those that you are going to be leading? And that's just the first chapter. After that, after you visualize it and manifest it, right? Or you visualize it and you can start manifesting it, you will not start manifesting it like just repeating it in yourself that that's the person you want to become. No, you'll have the tools to create the habits that will take you from that snapshot of who you want to become to actionable items, to develop actionable habits, to become that person. Isn't that amazing? Why, Mayrian? Why do you think you should write a book? Why do you think you have all of this knowledge to write a book, sell it, and guide people into how to become a leader? Why? Because I've done that before. Yes, I'll lose a little bit of my humbleness here. I do believe that I have the qualifications to write a book because I've done this before. I've built people in the past. I've taken people from square one when they're an entry level with non-experience whatsoever in the business world before. And I help them tune in with their inner leadership, help them embrace their values, understand their values, and shape the leader that they want to become. And yes, I'm putting the extreme case in which I'm taking people with non-experience prior, but I've also coached and trained people that have had leadership positions in the past, and they did not have the best experience because something that they did backfire, because something that their manager were asking from them did not align with their values, because they just didn't feel it, because they tried to copy someone else's leadership style that they think was good, but they could not sustain that leadership over time. And you know what? That happens. And you know why that happened? It happens because you might have known the perfect leader. And if you try to emulate every single thing that that person does, you will fail. And you will fail because who that person is and the experience that that person have had, it's not the experience that you have had, and it's not who you are. You will be faking to be someone that you're not. And that is unsustainable on time. Because in the end, your true personality will come afloat. That's why I've coached people in the past, helping them to find habits to tune in into the person that they want to become. It's not faking it until you make it. It's visualize it, behave like that person, embrace who that person is, who you want to become, and visualize it until you make it. Not fake it until you make it. Visualize it until you make it. Because at the end of the day, you might be willing to thrive in the finance world. But if you do not have backgrounds in finance, if you do not prepare yourself in finance, if you do not invest in learning in taking classes about finance, you will never be able to fake it until you make it, because the willingness and the attitude can only take you up to some length, but there's classes that you need to take. There's knowledge that you need to be willing to gain. There are experiences you need to be willing to drill. You need to be willing to go through the process. You need to be willing to create the habits in order to become the leader that you want to be. And that is what Lead Like Humanity is all about. So yeah, I do believe that after 10 years in a leadership role, couple of those years failing, looking for who I want to be, embracing who I am as a leader, and start developing that, and then being able to replicate that same model with different people around my career, I do believe that qualifies me to write this book. If you want to know what this book is more about, besides the first chapter that I just showed you, the purpose of the book is to help you, first of all, identify the type of leader that you want to be. Second of all, create your map to the summit. So where are you right now in your map? What are the people that you need to bring with you in the journey? What are the values? What are the skills of or higher skills? What is the time frame that you're giving yourself to obtain the person or the leader that you want to be? What is your compass? What is your manifesto? What is your promise to yourself in regards of the things that you will do to become this person, of the habits that you're willing to abandon to become this type of leader? And this book has been inspired a lot by, again, my experience. So go ahead and watch the 10 things about my leadership journey, so you will understand that I wasn't always the leader that I am today. And also on the 5 level of leadership and how you can consistently grow from one stair to another, from one step to another. And the video is here as well if you want to go ahead and watch it after you finish this one, so you can grasp the idea of what this journey is going to take you through. Last year, takeaways from this book that I'm guessing you will obtain. So the first one is the value per cost. So the book costs less than $20, and it will add so much value to your life, not only on a personal level, but also on a professional level, and it will help you to unlock that next increase on the paycheck that you're willing to obtain. And it could be through gaining the title that you want, or by becoming the leader that other people are willing to follow within your company, and the leader that can influence the opinions and the perspective of others within your business, which also will make the company being willing to invest more in you, because you will become a valuable asset for that particular company, regardless of the sector in which you are. The second thing that you will be able to obtain within with this book is a consistent, actionable plan for the next 5 years of your life. You will not only be able to develop your manifesto, you will not only be able to develop who you want to be, you will also be able to develop a plan to keep behaving like this person consistently for the next 5 years in your life. So no, nothing about let's do this challenge for 21 days. Let's do this for 4 weeks. No, that doesn't work. You can be consistent for 21 days, but after that, you can start to slack off. This book will tell you how to do it, and how to be serious about it, and how to become and embrace the person that you want to be. How to shred the skin that you're currently wearing and put on the golden dress, the amazing dress, or the tuxedo that you want to have to be that leader that influences others. And lastly, the third valuable asset that I know you will get as a fact from this book is that in a world that it's becoming more and more advanced every single day, in a world that is moving by AI, in a world that is moving by technology, I do believe that the soft skills are the things that will separate one human candidate for a role than another. Because the only thing that AI so far cannot do that humans does is having emotion, is being empathetic towards others, is generating loyalty, and is influencing other people to behave in a certain way. And those are powerful skills that we as a human will need to be able to thrive in the future, that we as leaders will need in order to be able to thrive in the future. And with my book, you will be able to start honing it right now. So you will prepare yourself for what the future is bringing. And it's not something that I think. You can go ahead and check different articles on the internet about what are the top skills that we will need for the future. And most of those skills, besides obviously the ones in regards of being tech savvy, have basic knowledge on AI, besides those two, the rest are soft skills. So you can start preparing yourself in regards of those. I get in my book today. So those are the three things: value versus cost, being able to create a long-lasting plan, so 5 years into the future. And the last one is to be able to hone soft skills that will be crucial for leaders to thrive in the future as well. The book is going live as of today in Amazon. It's gonna be resale for less than $20. You can go ahead and click the link in the description of this video. It will take you to my Amazon storefront and you will be able to purchase it from there. It is an amazing Christmas gift, not only for yourself, to yourself as a person that is in your leadership discovering journey, but also if you're a team leader, a supervisor, a manager, an executive in a business, and you've seen the potential within some of your team members, to not hesitate to buy this book and give it to them. It's the perfect gift and it's the perfect investment in their future, as this is the perfect gift for you and the perfect investment in your future. Also, once you purchase the book, you can go ahead and send me an email with your order number, and that will automatically add you into the webinar that we will be having in January. So the webinar that we will have in January, it's a 4 weeks webinar. We will be virtually meeting once every week, and we will be completing each one of the exercises within the book in those webinars. We will be sharing our experiences. We will be learning from other people that are also going to take in the webinar with us. And we will embrace that empowerment, that authentic leadership, that communication, and that community values, which are the core values of Wine After 5. Important news: if you're purchasing the book for someone else, you can send me the email with the order number and the email address of that person that you're planning to give the book as a gift, so I can also include them into the webinar. I will be sending the information about the specific days in which this is going to be taking place later on the month. Also, do not forget to subscribe to my newsletter, which is on Kirking Leadership. The link is on the description of this video. So every single week, you will be getting the latest news in regards of leadership and business across the globe. Little hint, in that specific newsletter, I shared the articles that explain what are the soft skills that we will be needing in the future. I'll also share on the webinar a cheap option for wine that you can purchase and enjoy with me every Friday on every single episode that we're launching. And lastly, there's also important articles in regards of the leadership journey, tips and tricks on how to speed up the process. If you're dealing with certain skills, with certain values, how do you make sure that your team members listen to you? How do you make sure that you are listening to your team members? Little guidelines on how to do a root cause analysis. All of those details we're sharing in the newsletter. So if you're not subscribed to it yet, you're missing out. Now, if you want to continue the conversation going, if you want to learn more about what I think I'm qualified to write this book, and if you want to know more about the inspirations for this book, go ahead and watch my video in regards of 10 things about my leadership journey, or watch the one about the 5 levels of leadership. And if you want to see, or if you want to continue the conversation or nurturing yourself regarding the difference between a leader of a boss, watch that video as well. Let me know in the comments what other type of content do you want to watch. You can go ahead and follow us on Instagram or TikTok and continue the conversation there. And I'll see you soon in any of those videos. Bye-bye.